to look at Dark Depths today, which is one of the expansions from Bones 5. My Bones 5 stuff arrived end of last week. Yeah, right. So I've had a look at some of it. Dark Depths is one of the expansions I feel like not so many people have kind of got in on and seen. I absolutely love it. The only issue with this Dark Depths expansion is it's made me really feel like I'm missing out by not getting one of the giant ships. So that is an issue. Oh, we haven't opened Dark Depths yet. Wonderful. Well, we're gonna work through that this evening. You can see some of this stuff, and I'd love to hear from you guys, like what your favourite bits are, what what you like the look of, all of that stuff. The general idea, as ever, is that it's a conversation rather than anything else. So we'll go for that. Right, I'll close that down to make sure that I'm not blocking off any polls. So I kind of got it divided out by how it came out, and we've got some kind of humanoid monsters coming out here. So these are like humanoid monsters. So we've got some like underwater troll type guys who are very cool. We like these. I'll get a humanoid size mini for comparison. I surely can't have tidied up so much I don't have any Reaper humanoids around here. That seems just impossible to be true. Alright, let's go with this half-painted guy. So you can see there, these are quite big guys for undersea. I love that he's kind of got this rather horrendous looking weapon for attacking people with. Thank you for that poll, Bellarian. There shall be more. So we've got a couple of these. As I say, I'm really excited now to do like an underwater or ship-based D&D campaign. I'm really keen to do that. What I think I might do, since I haven't got the big ship, is I might use the Ghost Barge from Bones 4 to do it with. But I've got so many like enemies and friends and things to go through here. They're amazing. This guy I absolutely love. It just goes to show that it's not always the biggest ones that are the best. This guy is absolutely fantastic. You can see he's kind of like a shell, but yeah, with the humanoid form underneath. So he's actually quite small. So he's quite a bit smaller than a human. But he's absolutely beautiful. I love this guy. Lots of like lizardy kind of folk, or they probably are meant to be fish, aren't they? Sahorgwyn. I think I may have just made up a word. I'm sure there's a race that's something like that. Pete's redeemed to hydrate again. So I'll just show these ones and then I'll go back. So I love the dynamic poses on these. We'll get onto some of the mermaids, merfolk that are coming up. And yeah, I think that would be I think those poses are great. But you can see here with the tails. Konani says, I hope my pledge comes in soon so I can paint Rocky the brush holder blue. I think that would be a good goblin inspiration. I think you're absolutely right. I actually have what have I done with him? I have the Rocky paintbrush holder here. He's not from the set, but he is sensational. I've been cleaning all my brushes today, but you can see there that he just holds your brush while you're kind of putting it down for a second. He's like holding your brush for you. He's so cool. I love the Rockies in general. They're really, really good. So yeah, that's a good, and I think it would make a fantastic goblin inspiration. I think you're absolutely right. So this, I think, is a slightly bigger version of these. Bellarian says, yes, Sahorgwyn or something like that spelling are in one of the Baldur's Gate games somewhere, I think. So we'll go with that. I feel like they're kind of underwater fish enemies. So there's some great ones like this. As I say, you're not going to kind of run out of enemies for a D&D campaign based on and under the water. Some great little. I think this guy's maybe like a sea anemone. This is like a crab guy, but with a shark kind of a face. It's a little bit of an odd one, but I do love him. I think he's very, very sweet. Last couple from here. This guy's like it's a swordfish nose. Love it. Kind of like a goblin with a swordfish nose. There are some really kind of sweet sculpts in here, and this is like a sea hag, I think. You can kind of see the face there is not the most friendly looking face ever, but I like it. So I'm trying to keep these mostly separate so that I have some semblance of organisation to my set. So we'll put them back in that bag. Next up, we also have some like natural creatures, well, at varying states of nature, I suppose. But these ones I actually had to glue together, so I'll bring them out relatively gently, which is not like me. Yeah, awesome minis, even if they might not be the friendliest bunch. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So these are the kind of relatively natural monsters that you get here. So we've got like a shark here, which is pretty cool. Again, let's bring this humanoid back in. So you can see there, that's probably a fairly life-size shark, about the same length as a human. So let's say this guy's 6 foot. It's a 6 foot long shark. Or you upgrade to the Shark Deluxe, which is pretty huge. I like that, but it's clearly still meant to be a shark. It's definitely got a shark face rather than a whale face. Yeah, this one's the baby shark, and this one's the adult shark. No do for this one. But yeah, so we've got a couple of sharks. We've got some dolphins. Let's put the sharks down, so I'm not trying to hold everything all at once. I think there are 3 dolphins. Oh, there's a hammerhead shark. Awesome, I love it. So you can just have these swimming around. Like, as I say, I'm generally thinking kind of, I guess, D&D, Pathfinder, that kind of role-playing game kind of thing. This doesn't look as sleek, more like one of the sharks from Finding Nemo. Yeah, absolutely. He's an absolute unit, this shark. I don't think he's very aerodynamic, but neither am I, so he has my sympathies on that. So then we've got, we've also got shark fins. I really like these as well. So you can scare your players. You know, they're just on their ship or on land, and you've got 3 of these somewhere. There's a 3rd one to scare your players. That's awesome, especially if they're on like a tiny rowing boat. They're really nice. They are very natural looking. Oh, thank you for the follow, Fragilities. I really appreciate that. Very nice to see you. So 2 dolphins, both alike in dignity. No, okay, let's not go Romeo and Juliet with these dolphins. So yeah, 2 of the Catfish from Bones 4. Very expressive face. Yes, absolutely. I think these are a bit more natural. So the Catfish, I think, came from the Dark Dreadmere. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Came from the Dreadmere expansion in Bones 4, which is very like horror. So these are a bit more natural looking. As we've said, the absolute unit of a shark maybe doesn't look that natural, but the general idea is. And then you've got this fish here, who doesn't look very friendly, does he? Just as a reference of scale, so this fish is absolutely huge. So he's significantly bigger than a human, and he's kind of the same size as this unit shark. Can only suggest coelacanth. Could be, absolutely could be a coelacanth. Pete the Hydrator says goldfish. I think coelacanth is more likely than goldfish, if I'm honest. But I think wouldn't want to meet that in a dark pond, says Bellurian. Absolutely. Absolutely. I like the way they've done these as well with the bases. It's obviously going to be very difficult to do a swimming fish of any kind, but I think it's quite a nice way of having those. It's a beefcake goldfish. Yeah, absolutely. It's been hitting the protein powder. Welcome back, Tony. Very nice to see you. I hope your trip to the corner shop was successful. Yeah, there's a unit of a shark and a beefcake goldfish right there. We also have this little ray, which I love. I love rays. I think they're so cool. It was a little bit difficult to stick together because it wasn't immediately obvious where I was meant to be sticking this one. But it seems to have worked okay. Let's just see. Oh, he doesn't balance, so I'll have to stick him onto a base. But he's looking very cool. We have a giant clam. Pretty giant. Again, we'll bring in the human for comparison. You get yourself lost in that clam, couldn't you? Ooh, I just want to see this pearl. Yeah, dangerous business going for that. And then this one I absolutely love. So This is a little harder to see, but this is a jellyfish. And I love that they've done this in the translucent plastic. I think it's going to be an absolute beauty to paint up. Obviously, you could do the interior. I'm not sure. I think the bottom bit here is rock, and then the rest of that is like actual jellyfish. Absolutely beautiful. I saw some awesome jellyfish when I went on holiday. I was going to say a couple of years ago. With COVID, it was probably more like 5 years ago or something now. But yeah, I saw some beautiful jellyfish on the west coast of Scotland. Fantastic. Tony says, rays are brilliant. They're really sociable and like to say hello. Yeah, they love to like pop up to the surface. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I think I missed a message there. Yes, Konani says, I almost planned a vacation to France this month just because an aquarium on the west coast has a giant manta ray. That is a good reason to go. I have to say, my wife and I plan a lot of our holidays based on like where we can see wildlife and stuff. So I absolutely understand that. Could also turn it into one of those astral jellyfish if you don't want the underwater fashion. That's very true. That's very true. Yeah, that would be really cool as well. Lots and lots of options with that. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Right, so next up we have the Mermaids and similar. These are the kind of humanoid friendlies, I guess I would say, as opposed to the like humanoid monstery types that we had a minute ago. I've just thrown all of them back into the bag, so I hope they were very solidly glued. Oh, that'll be fine, I hope. Yeah, so this is the... no, okay, that's not exactly everything that's in here, but that's the kind of what I thought of when I was looking at this. I'm not sure how I'm going to divide this up for another poll about what I should be painting first, but it's all good. So these are the the kind of humanoid plus a few others. So these are the Merfolk that I was talking about before, who I absolutely love these. I think they're fantastic. Again, they're in really kind of dynamic poses. This guy's got a very bent spear, so I'll have to I'll have to sort that out. I had a few bits and pieces to sort out on things going forward. In this set particularly, I think it was very much crammed into the small box that it came in. But we've got a few of these Merfolk, and I think they are awesome. We have loads of these Merfolk, in fact. Many Merfolk. I'm going to have to do them in two goes. Yeah, absolutely. Merfolk, animal and other. Yeah. There is a really nice long look to them, making them very distinct from standard humanoids. Yes, and very sleek. I think that's absolutely true. You often see mermaids with very like wide tails, but I think for movement through the water, I think these would absolutely be a very sensible design. Let's get a few more of these up. And yeah, some classic like trident action going on. So most of the things in here are Merfolk, it must be said. But it helps if I hold them under the camera, really, doesn't it? But yeah, I love these Merfolk. I think they're absolutely fantastic. I think you could do some awesome things with these tails as well. And I like that the tails have fins. I don't know why. I don't know what it is particularly about them. But the fact that they have fins, just, yeah, it really makes them feel a bit more alien, which I think is really great, rather than just humans with fishtails. I like that there's an excellent design and sculpts. I completely agree, Tony. I think they're fantastic. These are some of my favourite things that I've got to so far from the Bones set, I have to say. I think they're really, really good. So then the last two things from this bag of goodness. We've got this thing. I meant to get the page up. Let's get the Kickstarter page up. Bones 5 Kickstarter. So that I can actually tell you what the names of these things are. It does kind of look a bit water dragon-y. I feel like it's got a... Oh yeah, this is the game now, right? You guys see who can get closest to the name for this mini. Let's scroll down. There's a lot of minis in this Kickstarter. Hippocampus. Hippocampus is a seahorse, isn't it? The Hippocampus. So it definitely could be. It definitely has a kind of seahorsey thing to it. Unless you were suggesting the part of the brain called the Hippocampus, but I suspect not. Here we go. No, that's Greek Odyssey. There's a lot of expansions. It is. It's called the Hippocampus. Well done, Kanani. I'm not sure if that was a guess or a look up. Tony says Fido. I like it. No, yeah. Oh, it was a guess. Oh, well, good guess. Good guess, Kanani. Well done. Yeah, we'll call it Fido. It's all good. But yeah, another cool sculpt. There's a lot kind of going on in that one. Yeah, Ty in Texas says Hippocampus. So yeah, we're all on the same page with this one. So we're looking good. And this one I think is called the Dire Moray. Oh, apparently the big scary fish that we saw in the last one is called the Dunkleosteus. He says, trying not to absolutely annihilate the pronunciation of that. But so this is the Dire Moray. I played a lot of Age of Mythology in the past. Oh, there you go. There's who says gaming doesn't serve a purpose? I like it. Yeah, so this is the Dire Moray, which again is cool, and the base has quite a lot of cool details on it. So it's got starfish. It's got I think these are kind of traps and things down here as well, and some kind of general treasure, some coral, lots and lots of good stuff there. And yeah, another very cool sculpt. I think some of these are not my favourites because there's a bit less going on. I think I love the Merfolk because there is so much activity and motion and something kind of different to them. That's not to say this is bad at all. I don't dislike this sculpt, but you know, you have to have favourites, don't you? Ultimately, it's like having children. You always have to have your favourites. Ancient nasty fishworks. Yeah, absolutely. I don't have children, by the way, just to be clear, in case anyone thought I was actually being serious about always having your favourite children. It's just a joke I like to make about. It's like picking your favourite child. Everyone does it, but they don't tell anyone. Right, okay. So now we're on to some of the big beasties. And what have we got here? We've got. Let's start with this guy. So I've glued these together, everything except the little see-through poles. The reason for that is I'm going to paint them separately, and I am going to then attach the poles afterwards, kind of thing, because I don't want to get paint on the little see-through plastics, because it kind of ruins the effect of something floating at that point. So all of the minis and the bases are glued together, but they're not glued to each other in all these cases, if that makes sense. So this guy is called the Sea Dragon. There you are. That's what this one is called. And I think, again, I really like this. I love the sense of movement. I love the kind of detachment from the base as well. Has a Chinese dragon vibe to it. Yes, I can definitely see that. It has a very different dragon vibe. I was building a lot of the dragons from the set on Saturday on Coffee Chat Minis. If you didn't see that and you're interested in seeing the Reaper dragons, do check out the VOD on my channel. But yeah, it's obviously very different, but it has that kind of feel to it. It has a very dragony face, which is cool. But yeah, in a kind of aquatic form. So no, this is the issue with not gluing together the plasticky bits. Right, so that's the sea dragon. What else have we got? We've got the Nessie. Where's Nessie? Where are you, Nessie? I know you're here somewhere. I can't find my Nessie. I know I glued her together. I can't find her. I've got too many minis on my desk. That's the trouble. Alright, we'll miss out Nessie just for the time being. I picked a poor choice there. So instead we'll go for the Fathom Tyrant. That's what we're going to go for next. Which is down on the floor here. So this is the Fathom Tyrant, which is kind of like a crab beholder. Yeah, need to hunt at the bottom of Loch painting desk. Absolutely. I think it's only right that I shouldn't be able to find Nessie after all the years they've been looking for her. Yeah, this is a really cool one. The closest, as I said, I can come to this is like a crab beholder, because it obviously has that big central eye. All of these stalks are eyes. Yeah, crab beholder to go along with the pumpkin beholder. Yes, the overgourd as they call it. Yeah, it is one of the miniatures that they have. So this is, yeah, let's see if I can get this together as well. Same thing before. I haven't glued the see-through plastics on, but let's see. There we go. So you can see there that it's kind of floating over the surface. I'm not sure this is my favourite design from this set, but I do absolutely love the kind of idea behind it. I think, yeah, the kind of crab beholder idea for me is really, really nice. In first ed, it was called the Eye of the Deep. Ah, there you go. There you go. Good stuff. He doesn't have a chest. I feel he should deserve one. Yeah, yeah. He's very, very cool. This Fathom of the Deep. Again, so many different ways you could paint one of these guys up. I didn't know that the Eye of the Deep was a thing in the past, so I'd have to have a look at that before I start painting. Not necessarily to copy it, but it's always nice to have a reference for all these things. So thank you for pointing that out to me. Right, so that is the, whatever it was, Fathom Tyrant. Next up we have, oh, there's Nessie. Let's go with Nessie. She was in fact hiding underneath some things. Ah, 2 hydrates in a row. So this is Nessie. Yeah, it's slightly different from the stereotypical like Loch Ness monster design. I think it's quite cool. I will take my hydrates and then I shall ponder this further. 2 hydrates for me. Oh, Nessie looking very elegant, says Bellarian, and Honor says, love that sculpt. Oh, I missed a message from Fizzywizzle. Hello, Fizzywizzle. I apologise. I didn't mean to miss you out. I just spotted it on a look back. I think Nessie looks very good, but could have also done with a flying pose. I get what you mean. Part of me as I don't know, I was going to say as a Scotsman. I don't think this actually has anything to do with it. But I would have liked to see the kind of humped design a bit more, which is kind of iconic of Nessie. But I do think it is a cool design. I think the flippers actually look really cool on the tail on there. I agree. I think so many of the... now she looks like she's basking on a rock in the sun. Absolutely, she doesn't actually look underwater here, which I think is a challenge. Oh, hello, Carlos. Carlos says, busy paying import duties for a Reaper pledge. Oh, nightmare. That's never a nice thing to have to do. But at least you get cool minis at the end of it, Carlos, which is definitely something. So yeah, this is Nessie. As I say, lots of cool things about it, but I kind of agree. It looks like she's climbed out of Loch Ness and is going for a little outing in Inverness or something. But yeah, definitely some cool design features. Oh, not as bad as you imagine. That's excellent news, Carlos. That is excellent news. I'm glad to hear that. So, last up, and that is, let me just make sure I've got the right name. It is a Crocosaurus. So, I could guess that Croc was in there somewhere. Let's see if I can get him kind of actually onto the base. So there we go. So this is another one with like a flying base. Only VAT mostly, which is fair. Yeah, I think that's the thing is, obviously, UK people paid VAT up front. So long as you're not... I think there is a small fee to go on top of that, which is, again, I'm not going to get onto Brexit. Let's not start me on Brexit. But, yes, I'm glad that you didn't have to pay too much more than that, which is good. So this is the Crocosaurus. And again, I think there's a really nice sense of movement. I think one of the things I really like about this is that it's not kind of flat on the base. So this dragon here, let's go back to the sea dragon briefly, is cool. And I mean, it kind of makes sense with the design of this. But, oh, thank you for the cheer, Honor. I really appreciate that. That's very, very kind of you. So yeah, the sea dragon is quite flat. The Crocosaurus is, yeah, exactly. It's that downward movement. It looks like it's kind of swooping down to eat something, which I think is really cool. And absolutely, Carlos, the base on this is excellent. I can take this guy off for now. And yeah, diving in for the kill, absolutely. And yeah, so there's a bit of like a ruined structure here. There is, yeah, lots of like pillars. It kind of looks like a shipwreck. I think that's maybe a chest there. So yeah, lots and lots going on here, which again, I really love. I think is fantastic. Oh, I was about to say that's the last one, and then I realised I am massively lying to you, because we also have, let's check the name of this guy. The name of this guy is Sea Giant. Okay. I thought he was going to have a rather, more involved name than that. Carlos says the base alone would be worth buying. Yeah, it is. It is beautiful, and I think if you giving that like an underwater theme as well would be fantastic. So this guy is so big he's barely fitting on my screen here. Let's. So there you go. There's the human size. Sea Giant is not registered IP. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's tends to be the way with a lot of these things, isn't it? But he's got like a whole mast of a ship. His shoulder piece here is the like figurehead of a boat. Konami says didn't get the set, but I'm looking to get the croc when it releases to retail. Yeah, I really like this set. I was torn between this when I was locking in my pledge. I was torn between this and the Greek Odyssey set. But I kind of thought Greek Odyssey is the kind of thing that I see a bit more commonly in other places, whereas Dark Depths kind of had some different things that really appealed to me. This kind of reminds me a little bit of the Shipwreck Revenant that I painted last month, the month before, but obviously this is a Sea Giant. But yeah, so you again, just as a size comparison, let's bring in the Crocosaurus. I mean, these are both huge miniatures. They really are. Let's get this guy back. There you go. He is being eaten. Yeah, definitely some similar themes with reusing bits of ships as armor. Yeah, indeed. And seeing all these like shipwreck parts all over all the bases. This guy has a fairly simple base. You can see it is a molded base, but it's fairly basic. So I would look to put that on a larger base and really kind of add a bit more interest onto that. Whereas some of these, you don't need to really do anything to improve that base. So yeah, lots of possibilities with these things. So that is the end of the Dark Depths expansion. I hope you've enjoyed seeing all those things.